A beautiful Nigerian nurse based in the UK, Nnenna Miriam, is found to have passed away. Hello, everyone. You're so much welcome. This is one of those news information that just gets one worried to be like, how careful can we be in this journey called life? What can we do that is right or what can we do that is wrong? Why is it that, we have lots of young people who have, been trained by their parents, given education or guidance or skills, and when they get to a particular point when they are supposed to enjoy the fruit of their labor right in their prime, they just get on a life. This very sad story is one that bothers one, especially for young women who are just starting life. Yoruba will say, Ọlọ́run má jẹ́ kéèyàn bá olórí burúkú dòwò pọ̀, meaning that somebody who is unfortunate, having such person around could be the greatest undoing anyone. I mean, anyone could have. This beautiful nurse who was said, whose name is Nnenna Miriam, was found by in her apartment. And this has sent a lot of shock within the nursing community, both in the UK and Nigeria, because of course, she was trained in Nigeria. She's a Nigerian trained nurse before she japa for greener pastures. We know that we have a high percentage of our medical people who decided to go and search for the golden flea abroad, considering the very paltry amount of money they are paid here, the condition of work, and all of that. And one of our greatest exports from Nigeria to any other country abroad is those in the medical profession, especially our doctors and our nurses. Because over there, not that it's so easy, but they are able to practice their skills and they're able to be remunerated properly. With the stress of going over there, passing their own exams, and also trying to adjust into settling down into a new environment, a new country, the UK in this situation, it is not rice and beans. Because for some young people, they of course plan to take in maybe their spouse from Nigeria, even for those who are married. A lot of times you find the wife traveling and working hard, having savings in order to book for her family to join her. In her own case, she just got back from Nigeria. Oh yes, she came to Nigeria where she had an introduction ceremony, of course, dating someone and, taking it a step higher. And as a beautiful woman, you can see her. She's just perfect for her to settle down, done with school, having the courage to travel abroad for better pastures, and thinking that it's high time she settled down. Just as she came back from Nigeria was when the unfortunate incident happened. And honestly, it just started with, her doing the shift. Then later, she wasn't seen anymore at work. And her colleagues and close friends were worried about her sudden absence from work and placed repeated unanswered calls. But when they didn't hear anything, they filed a missing person report. Then, trust the police in the UK, they swung into action and later found a lifeless body in her apartment. And not only her body was found, because when this story broke out some days ago, it was said that only her. But with further report from the UK police, they said it wasn't only her own body they found, another man's body was found. And this has led to a lot of debates. A lot of debate to be like, what could have done wrong? Is it the crime of passion? Is it whatever? Is she double dating? And all of that. Well, like I said, the UK police has established that, they had a relationship. Now, for any reasonable joining of dots, what could have been said is that maybe, of course, she decided to do it with that man and come to Nigeria to do her introduction ceremony. That's a traditional marriage. But definitely, the guy over there, the guy with her in the, because fiance or husband to be is based in Nigeria. Now, for the other guy whose body was found with hers, they said she was, STABBD, and the guy too was found to be, So, from what it all looks at, is like a crime of passion. That case of obsession of if I don't have you, nobody can have you. We even see situations of even married people, especially Nigerians, married people in the UK who maybe the wife in such situations who is a nurse and her husband too is there, she's doing all the work, they have marital issues, and all of a sudden one by the other one, the other. So many things come into play sometimes. So many things come into play. And we just think like must a relationship must one pay the price of relationship with one's life? It's not working. It could be very, very hard. Very hard, especially to somebody you're so much in love with, you spend so much time with and everything. But we should have this cushion at the back of our mind that regardless of whether somebody wants to continue being the love of our lives or not, we have absolutely no right to unalive anyone. No right. There's no justification for it. Because look at this young lady now, can imagine what the family members are going through, and people have started trivializing this issue, saying, maybe she was still dating the other guy. How are you able to substantiate that? How? For the guy, even if she was still dating the other guy, does that give him the effrontery to crash into her apartment? Or even if he's invited into the apartment to do that? No, we shouldn't get to that. The level of self-awareness that we need to have in our young people is a work that we have to continue doing. Regardless, we see stories everywhere. Look at Oshinashi's husband that has been sentenced to Pai after over 3 years that the wife passed away. And the court found him very guilty and said, Mr. Man, this is the situation. Now look at how this beautiful woman has just been wasted. Because it is just waste. Look at the agony, the pain. Is it now that the parents are just done with introduction ceremony when, she's now, when her parents are supposed to be genuine, that is supposed to happen because of an uncurbed hot passion? Even the thing called marriage self, where people want to buy themselves inside. Don't you see how even when you enter the marriage, you try everything, is not working? If you're not careful, it is going to drain life out of you mentally, financially, physically, psychologically. So if somebody is not ready to walk down the aisle with you, I don't think life should end. I don't think that should give you a passport to buy the person. Why? Why should we go that route? Look at a woman who, there's no better way to say this thing. Honestly, it's a very sad one. And one cannot just imagine how our family members are coping at this difficult time. How is the mother or the father or the sisters, how are they supposed to be comforted? And to those saying that she was double dating, why could she come back from introduction in Nigeria and now invite her ex to her house? Were we there? She's gone. Nobody can speak for her. Nobody can speak for her except maybe if they try to investigate our phones or something. But even at that, does it make sense anymore? How would even the fiance in Nigeria be feeling? What kind of trauma is that guy going to be in? I don't. It's really, really sad, and honestly, I think there should be more enlightenment. Yeah, it's hard. I'm not saying it's easy if you're refused by your love interest. It's not easy. And you see that your love interest move on, maybe like I said, they were dating before and maybe they fell out and she decided to move on with a guy in Nigeria and came all the way to do introduction, right? And the former guy is now looking to be like, now you've moved on, you are happy. Some people can't contain it. Now look at that guy himself. Now, the guy too has spied himself, and you're now thinking, do you have any level of self-awareness? Do you love yourself enough that you are enough by yourself? Either you have a woman you are in love with, or you are in love with that doesn't want you anymore. You are enough. In fact, you are more than enough. But a lot of young people roll around walking, I'm too much in love and everything. Come on, there was a time that person was not in your life and you are living your life. Yes, I agree that person might come into your life and you might be so much in love, had so much good times together, memories and everything. But if the person decides to go away, it doesn't mean life is going to end. No relationship, I repeat, no relationship is worth for anybody to buy himself or buy another person. None. It's very sad. If you check her page, especially her TikTok page, she's a very lively lady. You can imagine her own little corner, the contribution she's making as a useful nurse, not just in Nigeria but even in the UK. You can imagine how bright the future is, and one unfortunate human being will now feel that whatever you've done to me, the best thing to do back to you is to honor life. No. She's gone. She's gone. We can only pray for God to give her family the fortitude to bear the loss. And people should stop, please. What they don't, we can't substantiate. That's the problem with a lot of people with their herd mentality. Saying she was double dating. That's why the guy came. Can you imagine that pattern of thinking? What is the evidence that she was still dating the ex-guy? May a beautiful rest in perfect peace. Amen.